All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about growing tall fescue grass in eastern North Carolina. Here we're east of I-95. It's a completely different environment than what you'd experience even in the Triangle. This about, I don't know, 50 miles west of here. The soil is different. The temperatures are different. The humidity in the nighttime hours and the temp, it's just a completely different environment almost, and it's even, I mean, not even being that far away. So fescue grass is very challenging to grow here because the soil is a little more sandy, and like I say, the blistering heat in the summertime, the main grasses we see around here are Bermuda and centipede and some St. Augustine grasses. But sometimes those just don't work in certain areas because of the shade. So we'll try fescue. This yard that I'm getting ready to show you today is one that in September we changed over to a fescue yard. We started the process actually in August by spraying the existing lawn out with glyphosate, about 3 different rounds of that to completely kill the old yard, and it definitely got with it. It killed everything out there. So in September, going by the calendar, which was probably a mistake in conventional wisdom and NC State says and everything else, to put your fescue grass out in the middle of September. Well, we did, and it didn't rain a drop the whole month of September. Most of October, we saw temperatures in the 90s. So it was not cool season grass weather by any means. But this yard was irrigated, so it held its own all right, but not in a way that it would have if the temperatures would have been what we wanted to see to grow fescue grass. Anyway, I'm going to show you this yard, and today is the middle of November. It's the first cold day that we've had actually this whole year, but it's time to put the first round of fertilizer on the grass. We put fertilizer out with it when we seeded it, and today I just mowed it and cleaned it up a little bit, and we're gonna fertilize it again. We try to fertilize our fescue about 4 times throughout the winter. I'm gonna show you what I put on it. First I'm gonna show you the yard. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this thing around. Hello. All right, it's on there somewhere. Bear with me. I can't get it turned around. I'm a poor camera operator. Hello, Apple. Steve Jobs, save me. Damn it. What does that do? I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll just flip the thing around. That's the yard. It's come in pretty good. It still hasn't got the deep green color and hardened up like it will when it's mature. The grass right now is still kind of fine, and as it matures the blade will widen and it'll harden up, and it won't be as delicate when you mow it. Mowing it actually will help you with the thickening of it, but also it will damage this fine young grass to put this big 1,000-pound lawnmower on it, so you got to be careful. But today, like I say, we're going to fertilize after we've mowed it. And I wish I could get this thing to turn around. There's a button, but it's not showing up. Damn it. All right, this is what I'm going to use. I use 1735 with iron, and it's got a little bit of sulfur in it too. But there's lots of tricks to growing tall fescue, lots of wise tales and everything else. But the biggest thing that we found is you got to, about every 28 days in the summertime, run a fungicide on it, and you also have to vary the class of the fungicide so it doesn't become resistant. I know this thing will turn around. There's no button up there. Yikes. All right. Well, anyway, so I'm going to fertilize it today, and this is what it looks like. Like I say, usually by this time you even have a little more growth and it's started to harden a little bit, but the fall we had thus far has been very not fall-like. Here's my spreader. I'm gonna throw this fertilizer out. All right, well, that's just a little bit of a tip about fescue. There's 10,000 different things. I can show you what kind we use too. That's pretty important. We use a very premium seed. It's called Top Choice. This particular brand will vary its seed blend for your climate. This particular one has Screamer LS, Raptor 3, and something else. The LS on the back of it means lateral spread. What is the other seed in this? Spider LS, Screamer LS, and Raptor 3. The LS stands for lateral spread, and supposedly it will actually spread and repair bare spots and holes. I've used this particular grass on different places for a couple of years now. I can't say that I have or have not observed it moving. It definitely does not move in a way that a Bermuda grass would or anything else, meaning spilling over curves and that kind of stuff. I don't see that. I think what it kind of means is the grass plant actually will just get a little wider and get some more leaves on it than a typical. But whatever, it's their sales thing. But anyway, so important with tall fescue, pick you out a good grass seed with 0 weeds in it. Don't buy something, even 5% weeds is 5% too many. Nature will put enough weeds in the yard. You don't need to put any more out there to deal with later. So a blend, usually with 3 different types of seeds. The idea behind the blend is if one variant doesn't like the area or the climate, the other variant will. So in certain spots of the yard it might be different, so the different seeds might work in different spots. So usually a 3 seed blend, 0 weeds, and make sure it's a blend that's, you know, suited for your particular area. You know, in the deep south you'd have something different. Way up north you'd obviously have a different blend, and that's what this company does, is they make stuff that's suited for your specific area. So we'll fertilize it about 4 times during the winter. We'll start by fertilizing it the first time with the seed, then I'll fertilize it again about the middle of November. I'm actually a little bit early this year. Then again around after Christmas maybe, and once more before St. Patrick's Day usually. Then in the summer, you got to water it. I mean, obviously in this part of the country, in eastern North Carolina, you cannot even dream of having a fescue yard unless you have an irrigation system. I will not seed one in this part of the country that does not have an irrigation system. And then you got to keep your fungicide program going every 28 days during the summer. The brown patch, large brown patch will just blow one of these yards up. We have some smaller yards that we've seeded, and they elected last year not to go with the fungicide program, and they were riddled with brown patch. All these different seeds say that they are more disease resistant, and they are probably just that, resistant. They're definitely not disease proof. Anyhow, and when I fertilize throughout the winter, I'll also add iron to that fertilizer and a little sulfur. Well, the fertilizer has sulfur in it, but the iron, 4% iron, is what we use on it to really get that dark, rich green color going. Anyway, fescue is really challenging in this environment east of I-95 here in North Carolina, but it can be done and gives you an awesome green yard year round. If you can keep the water on it over the summer and keep the brown patch fungus out of it, feed it over the winter, you'll have an awesome yard year round. In the past, with some other seeds I've used, I've seen by August the yards were just really beat up and hurt, even if we were, using a fungicide and keeping them watered. This year I had some in August that looked so good I really didn't even have to reseed, but just in some high traffic areas or right next to the road where it gets really hot all the time. So we've had some great luck with it last year, and this year it's coming on okay now, but September and most of October the weather was just not what we needed for this here. Well, anyway, I hope some of these tips are helpful. And like I say, I'm sure I didn't cover everything. There's so many things to cover with growing grass, but that's just some of the few basics for here in Eastern North Carolina. Thanks for watching.